Hey guys, my name is Nicolette Mashile, also known as the Financial Bunny. For some of you who might not know, I do consumer financial education, but I also work in the media space. So I work for one of the largest channels in the country. In fact, I work for the state broadcaster. So you can classify me as a small business or a freelancer. So today's message is really directed at the President's response to COVID-19 and also to the Minister of Small Business and Development, Mekumbuzo Nchabeleni. I've seen the interventions, and yesterday I listened intently to the President speaking about the financial interventions that are going to be made available for employees, for small business that are going to be needing some sort of financial intervention, and for every other sector except for one, the media sector, and then two, for freelancers, right? And it disheartened me quite a lot listening to that and not being able to hear and understand clearly where I as a freelancer can go and be able to look for some sort of financial assistance. But that's neither here nor there. I am here today to offer an alternative to the relief, the fund that has been set up by the Small Business and Development Ministry, purely because I believe that the problem is larger than COVID. I would like to appeal to you, Mr. President, that you speak to your departments, you speak to your department heads, and you speak to the guys that work in procurement. Because to be quite honest, Mr. President, the largest threat right now to small business in South Africa did not just emanate from COVID-19 or from a couple of weeks ago. It's been an ongoing problem in South Africa, and that is the fact that big business in South Africa, government departments in South Africa are really doing small businesses an injustice of not paying their invoices. Many of us are sitting with a backlog of invoices that have just never been paid. And if I could give you some of the excuses as to why these invoices are not paid, even you, Mr. President, as somebody that understands business, even you, Mekumbuzo, as somebody that truly understands the DNA of small businesses and what is needed to be put in place for small businesses to be able to grow, you yourself would cringe at some of these excuses. Some of them is you simply can't get a purchase order because the person who's supposed to sign off on your cost estimate is not available. So you are told to go on and do the job, and by the time you've done the job and you've delivered, you still have to wait for the purchase order before you can issue an invoice. Some of them as simple as telling you that the person that needs to sign off on your invoices is gone on leave. Some of the excuses are going to be the fact that you have instituted a lockdown for a very serious issue in South Africa, and we appreciate the lockdown, but it's going to be one of the reasons why invoices are not going to get processed. Now, I want you to understand where we are coming from as small businesses. We're not going to go under because of COVID-19. We're going to go under because our cash flow is a mess, because we don't get our invoices prioritized by big business and government departments. We are not silly. Not all of us are irresponsible, Mr. President and Minister. We're not all irresponsible. I myself do consumer financial education. I understand the importance of having financial reserves. I understand the importance of having an emergency account, even for my business. I have it in my personal capacity and I have it for my business. But that plan can really be messed up when your invoices don't get processed or paid. And we're not asking for them to be paid. Perhaps maybe we're not asking for invoices from last month, but at least the invoices that are sitting in somebody's offices right now and gathering dust. Those are the invoices that we're appealing to. Please, Mr. President, may you put out an instruction, a very hot and decisive instruction that big business and government departments process invoices that are due at the end, at least, of March. That they process those invoices, that we are not told that they cannot get processed because there's a lockdown in South Africa. That is not fair, Mr. President. You will then find that a lot of us will not be taking this payment holiday that is being instituted by banks, where we actually are going to be put on the back foot because we know they're still going to be charging us interest and account fees. That we're not forced to now have to close down some of our doors. That we're not forced to put pressure on the relief fund that you guys have instituted that should really be assisting those small businesses that find themselves in trouble. The system crashed last night. I mean, you can ask yourself why. Because every single small business is currently camping on that website right now to try and get some sort of relief. That relief should be actually going to our mamas that are sitting in the streets, the hawkers, the vendors, the people that don't have bookkeeping, the people that might not be able to prove to you that they're actually experiencing some financial crisis due to COVID-19. That's where that relief should be going to. But right now, it's going to businesses, small businesses whose invoices are sitting, waiting for a signature or a couple of signatures, or waiting for somebody to finish their margarita at the beach. Luckily, no one's at the beach, but they might be waiting because of a lockdown. So I appeal to you, Mr. President. Thank you.